This is Season 8, Episode 153 of the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast.
Sometimes the important thing is not the number of miles you've driven, but what's going on inside your head while driving. The Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast will stimulate your mind and keep you company while on the road. Join us for education, motivation, and inspiration from wherever you may be in our nation. You'll hear roundtable discussions about important information that's impacting our industry. Plus, you'll learn more about new technology, equipment, driving opportunities, safety, and operations. Get driver success and fitness tips to keep you profitable, safe, healthy, as well as entertaining stories from the road. And don't you know, we've all got a few of those. We might be traveling in different directions, but we're all part of one driver community at the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. With your host, trucker Tim Cicciarelli.
Hey, good morning.
Well, hello and welcome to Episode 153 of the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. Tim Cicciarelli here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Coming up in episode 153, we've got a driver spotlight for you, and this driver that we'll be talking to is a member of our Driver Hall of Fame. That's the HAUL of Fame there at Stevens Transport in Texas. But he's in there more than once, not just twice, not 3 times, 4 times. That means he's logged over 4 million miles, and that means he has a lot of wisdom to drop on some of our new drivers. So please make sure you stick around for that. We're also going to see what's happening throughout Stevens Transport with our August 2025 news bulletin. In that information, we'll learn about the upcoming Driver Appreciation Week in just about 5 weeks or so. So looking forward to that. We'll be talking to one of our drivers who is up for the nomination for the 2025 Transition Trucking Award. Looking forward to hanging out with Russell Connor coming up in a few moments. But first, a few months ago, we welcomed a new Director of Driver Recruitment, a very pivotal position at Stevens Transport, as this department is the first point of contact to all of our new drivers that are entering the Stevens Transport family. So let's welcome Melissa Larson on our Stevens Roundtable. Excited to have Melissa Larson back on the podcast with us. Melissa, relatively new to Stevens Transport. You might remember back in Season 7, we had her on, and now she is our Director of Driver Recruitment. Congratulations on the promotion, and thanks for being back with us on the podcast, Melissa.
Thank you, and it's nice to be back, for sure. It's good to see your smiling face again.
Oh, we're seeing it differently now, of course, here in Season 8. We're doing it via a webcam because we're recording the video now. How do you like that?
It's incredibly intimidating and, just overly fabulous. That's all I got.
It's very fabulous. Melissa came camera ready today, and you look as good as you sound. And really, again, you were such a delight to have on last time. New to the company. At that time, you were kind of feeling things out a little bit, I believe, learning the Stevens Transport culture. Now you got several months under your belt. Tell us a little bit about how you're assimilating and how it's working for you.
It's something different. It's something I have not experienced to this extent in my career, working with so many students and bringing in folks that are looking to start a career in a field that they had otherwise never considered. I run a team of 15 people that qualify and sell the Stevens Transport culture and the promise of employment after they obtain their licensure, and it's exciting. It's something different. Again, I've always only worked with experienced drivers, with people that already had their CDL, that had a year of OTR, and teaching people what it takes to get to that point where they can really make a career out of this and make some life-changing money in some people's cases once you get to that IC side, or you decide to team or things like that, to lead people down that path and help them really understand what the dream that started with Mr. Aaron back in the day, the dream that Stevens has promoted for all of these 46 years has been just very exciting to learn, along with a very new and young team. I have a couple very tenured people in driver recruiting, and then I have a good 2/3 of my team that has less than 6 months with Stevens. So they're all learning right along with me, which has been both a blessing and a little bit of a curse, I think. But we're all learning together and learning to be a good, cohesive, and positive team and a good part of what Stevens has to offer. So it's been great. It's just been very exciting and new and just a little different than anything I've done before. So
new challenges. And anytime there's a change in leadership, there might be a little bit of friction. This is not how we did things before, or here's how we're going to do things now. And there might be some new goals. But with 15 people, and I love how you have that mix of some newbies as well as some seasoned vets as well, too. So you've got some synergy there where your seasoned vets can help these newbies, in terms of getting them up to speed on Stevens culture, what the expectations are, how to present the information to our drivers when they call. So you have a team of 15 different people. What are some of the goals you have as a new leader, new director of driver recruitment? What do you bring into the table? What are your goals specifically for you, Melissa, and your team?
So my ultimate goal is to deliver consistent, cohesive, and positive information to build this team of drivers with Stevens, right? We don't sell school. It's not about Stevens School. It's not about our contract schools. It's not about our outside schools. What I'm trying to teach and instill in my young team, and also to bring kind of the actual idea of selling the dream to the experienced folks, because I think we get complacent and we get used to saying like, oh, well, it's school and it's got to be this and it's got to be that. And instead it needs to be, this is what's going to happen when you have your CDL, this is what you can expect. And I think teaching people how to relay that information in a very consistent way that's full of energy and passion and enthusiasm is something that I'm that person. I'm that person who I don't need 16 cups of coffee to wake up and be like, good morning, here we go, let's have a great day, right? Like that's just who I am.
Yeah.
I bounce off the walls from the moment I roll out of bed. So I think bringing that energy is my goal every day to provide an example of what we want to show our drivers when they get here, and it should start from the very first time the phone rings. So that's been like goal number one. Goal number two is to get back to the minimum expectations of our KPIs. All of the recruiters in our sweeper team and our verifications team and our collections team, we're all measured, right?
Yeah.
So one of my goals is to get us back to a point where we are consistently bringing in 25 students to our Stevens School every week, that we're consistently delivering 50 people to orientation, and that our truck count can then grow because we're seated and we're consistent. Retention is a big deal to me.
Yeah.
Once we have gone to this length to work through this process and get these folks excited about going to school, I want them to stay. I want them to feel like they're valued and that this should be the place they want to stay, right? It's not only about getting through training, it's about having a career with Stevens and delivering that longevity, getting to that million miles, million miles, and having the recognition for all the accolades that brings to you in a career in over-the-road driving. So, yeah, retention, recruiting, expectations, KPIs. I have all the I's. Like they're all there. They just all need to be dotted, right?
Yeah.
All the I's got to be dotted. And I just want to draw that line across the whole row of T's and say, we're there. It takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of determination. And I'm one of those teach, train, and develop people. I want people to feel valuable no matter what their role is in my little bubble. So when they walk through those doors, it's Melissa's world, and that's where we live, and it's smiles and rainbows and sunshine. And when it's not, let's figure out how to make it be that way again. So
I love that sense of leadership right there. Keeping it positive, keeping it cohesive and consistent, with everybody across the board. So before we wrap up this segment here, Melissa, I'd love for you to talk to some of our potential drivers, for those that have found this podcast looking for a new career in transportation, in logistics, and trucking in particular, and with Stevens Transport. So you have a team of people that present that information to them. But before they make that phone call, and we have that phone number and all the ways to get in touch with Stevens Transport in our episode notes of every single episode. But if you're one of those people that stumbled across this podcast because you're looking for a career change, Melissa, what would you say to them about Stevens Transport?
So first of all, Stevens Transport has been in business for 46 years. It has been a pillar of the example of what the training process for school should look like. other companies model their training after us. Companies specifically look for Stevens Transport's education and training when they're looking to hire drivers once they've completed school and completed their obligation to do their 1 year of their work agreement, right? We sponsor your education. It's no money out of pocket. You're not going to have to actually pay other than $122, which is the cost of your permit and your license. You don't have to pay for school. I don't know too many places that will say, hey, come go to school and we'll give you a job. And oh, by the way, you can pay us back over time. It doesn't work that way in the world of education. So Stevens has built their legacy on the fact that we sponsor school, not just here in Texas, but also in 5 other locations for our contract schools that we partner very closely with and hold them to the same expectations that we hold our trainers and our red shirts and our instructors here to. Once you've completed school, right, you get to go out with a trainer, one of our mentors that has been a part of this process forever. They will take you out on the road for 6 to 8 weeks. They will get you the experience that you need so that you can be a solo driver, so that you can have your own truck. Our trucks are $40,000 more than anyone else's. We have them just loaded with all of the amenities. They are comfortable. They are they're so beautiful. People go, oh wow, that's a Stevens truck, because our trucks are that gorgeous. Other places, well, you would want to go to school somewhere else. You're probably going to get the worst truck they have on their lot when you're done, because they know that historically we don't want to give new trucks to brand new drivers, right? Stevens doesn't subscribe to that rhetoric. We want to give everybody the same state-of-the-art equipment so that you can be comfortable and happy, and this is your home. It's your little home on wheels, right? You're going to run 3 weeks out with 3 days home, but we start our new drivers at 50 cents a mile. And if you do the research and you start talking to other places that train drivers, typically they have you pay them back for your education with a reduced cents per mile. So you're going to make between 38 and 41 cents a mile other places, where you can come right out of school and make 50 cents a mile here. We want you to make money. We want you to feel like your education was valuable and that you are able to provide for your family in a way that was otherwise not available to you. So the dream is that once you have your license and you have your experience and you have your training and you're making 50 cents a mile, you're running 2,500 to 3,000 miles a week, you're earning that $1,250 to $1,500 a week as a brand new driver, which is not something that is available to you as a new driver elsewhere. We do ask that you work for us for 1 year. You pay us back in very minimal increments. It's like $25 a week for the education that we gave you. And once your education is paid for and you have that full year, 3 years or 12 years or 20 years of experience, the CDL is yours. After 1 year, we're happy to release your Class A CDL credentials to you and say, here's your certificate of completion. And if over the road doesn't work for you, hey, it's no harm, no foul, right? You can choose to look for something local. You can choose to, after 90 days, you can apply to work on one of our dedicated or regional routes. You don't have to run OTR forever. So 90 days solo gives you the keys to the castle. If you live in an area that has a dedicated run and you want to apply for that account with your driver manager, man, go ahead and do it. There are opportunities to be home weekly. There's opportunities to be home daily. You just have to start somewhere. And starting somewhere is the call that you make to recruiting. Starting somewhere is the www.stevenstransport.com. Click on drivers, click on careers. You can hit apply now in the center of the screen. It'll take you to our Direct and Tele app where you put in all your information and one of our recruiters will reach out to you right away.
Wow. That might have been the best streamlined, here's how to start your career and get rocking with Stevens that we've heard in more than 8 seasons of the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio podcast. Melissa Larson, you can see why she's the top dog, the director of recruiting at Stevens Transport with an amazing team of 15 people. So if that didn't catch your interest, then why would you even want to get into trucking? Thank you.
Well, I think
a treat to have you back on, and looking forward to seeing you when I head out there for Driver Appreciation Week in September.
Yes, can't wait.
Well, it's that time of year again for Transition Trucking, Driving for Excellence Award Program. You might remember last year, Stevens Transport driver Corey Truxell won the grand prize in December of 2024. Corey drove off the lot with a Kenworth T680 truck. Now, the award is presented by Kenworth, Fastport, and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation's Hiring Our Heroes program. And the whole point of this incredible program is to recognize our military veterans who successfully transition into civilian truck driving careers. So as we embark upon the 2025 campaign, joining us is a gentleman who served our country for quite some time, and he's pretty close to being the official nominee for Stevens Transport here in 2025. We've got a few drivers that are in the running, but let's welcome to the podcast Russell Connor. Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Tim.
Well, first and foremost, Russell, thank you for your service. Would you please tell us a little bit about how you served our country?
I served for just over 25 years. I was in the Army, of course, and a multitude of different jobs from infantry to truck driving and combat deployed a few times, so it's been a run.
25 years. So you served our country clearly more than half of your life. What was it, Russell, that made you decide to come over to Stevens Transport following your career in the military? You mentioned that you drove a truck while in the service, but why Stevens Transport?
Well, to be honest with you, I went through troops into transportation when I was getting out of the military as I was retiring. And Stevens Transport was one of the companies that was recommended to us, and I really enjoyed their training program. So with that, I decided to take a leap of faith.
Yeah, a leap of faith. And when did you start with Stevens?
2024.
Well, like we said at the beginning of the interview, Transition Trucking is awarding one of these military vets who've transitioned into trucking a brand spanking new Kenworth T680. Now, what would that be like? How would that change your life if you're the big winner?
It's almost indescribable. I love driving, and to have something that is mine, not the bank's or anybody else's, but just something that allows me to go out, make money, enjoy life, and enjoy the open road.
Enjoy that open road in a brand new T680, totally tricked out. Man, that would be great. And, you know, having participated in this program as a podcast host, I think this might be like the fifth year doing it. It really is heartwarming to see how your colleagues at Stevens Transport and other drivers are going to rally behind whomever is going to be the official nominee for Stevens Transport. And that will be announced sometime this week. And that campaign is a lot of fun, especially with the trips up to Washington, D.C. And I know that whomever is going to be nominated is going to have the support of all of us at Stevens Transport behind that person. And if you are the official nominee, we're going to have you back here on the podcast, Russell, if you don't mind, to talk a little bit more about your career in the military in detail. What would you like to say right now to those that are determining who gets the nomination for Stevens Transport?
It's tough to say, but I would say thank you for looking at my nomination, and I look forward to seeing myself up there on that platform.
Love the way you're visualizing it, my friend. Hey, where are you right now?
I'm actually in Virginia right now.
All right, be safe out there. Russell Connor, Stevens Transport, possible nominee for the Transition Trucking 2025 campaign. You be safe out there, my friend, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much, Tim. It was great to be on the show.
Now more than ever, truck drivers are true American heroes. The men and women who literally keep America moving by delivering goods across the country. Being a professional driver is a rewarding, financially lucrative, long-term career filled with exciting adventures. A career where you'll never have to worry about job security. If you have your CDL and keep it up, it will sustain you for the long haul. You can see the country, serve your country, and provide a good life for your family. Whether you'd rather haul on a dedicated route or lane, or prefer working with one specific customer, if you want to own your business, we have a program that sets you up for success with all the tools and support you need. We've got opportunities in our intermodal rail division and have programs to help military veterans transition into trucking careers. We have second generations of drivers whose parents have driven for Stevens, who then trained their children and are now truck drivers. Some are even small fleet owners. So, whatever your dream is, you can achieve it right here at Stevens. If you're looking for a company with a 40-plus year track record that's never had a layoff and just had the largest pay increase in company history for both new and experienced drivers, Stevens Transport has you covered. We offer the finest tools and technology and provide our drivers with the best state-of-the-art equipment on the market. Our infrastructure will support you both on and off the road. As a driver for Stevens, you become part of our family. Many companies throw the word family around. We're family-owned, family-run, and family-driven. Our 40-plus years of success is built on family. At Stevens, you're not just a number. Our drivers are part of our extended family, and we recognize and honor them every chance we get. If you want to be among the top income earners among professional drivers, if you want great benefits, if you want to have every type of driving opportunity at your fingertips, if you want to be part of a company that will stand behind you and ensure your success, come join the Stevens Transport family today and become an American hero. So, what are you waiting for? Take the first step toward your future career with the best trucking company in America. Become part of the Stevens Transport family today by calling our recruiting department at 1-800-333-8595 or apply online at stevenstransport.com.
Ever wondered what it's like to drive across the country and get paid to see America's breathtaking landscapes? Welcome to life as a team driver with Stevens Transport. The life of a trucker can sometimes feel solitary, but with team driving, you're never alone. Let's dive into how teaming up with another driver can transform your trucking career. So what exactly is team driving? Simply put, it's when two drivers share the responsibilities of operating the same truck. This allows for continuous travel and efficient delivery. Federal regulations require solo drivers to be off-duty for at least 10 consecutive hours after 11 hours of driving. Team driving, however, maximizes productivity by alternating driving shifts, cutting down on overall trip times. By working in shifts, team drivers can cover over 5,500 miles a week. That's more than double what solo drivers can achieve, leading to more priority loads and higher earnings. Efficiency is key. With two drivers, tasks like loading and unloading become quicker and easier. Plus, you'll earn more per mile. One of the greatest perks? You get to choose your driving partner, whether it's a close friend or a new acquaintance. Having a partner on the road makes those long hauls more enjoyable. And what about rest? Team drivers sleep in comfy bunk beds while the truck is moving, allowing for nearly non-stop travel without sacrificing sleep. Safety is another major advantage. With two drivers, there's an added layer of oversight to ensure committed safety. So, if you're ready to take your trucking career to the next level, consider team driving with Stevens Transport. It's the perfect blend of companionship, efficiency, and increased earnings. Explore the benefits of team driving and start your adventure today with Stevens Transport. Apply now and join a team that drives you to success. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back to the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. My name is Tim Cicciarelli, otherwise known as Trucker Tim. If you wouldn't mind, when you hit your next stop, please follow or subscribe to this podcast from whichever podcast platform you're enjoying it from. We are everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible. If it's a platform with a podcast on it, we are there. And by following the podcast, you'll have a brand new episode waiting for you each and every week as soon as it's released. And if you wouldn't mind, please leave us a review. Tell us what you like about the show and what you'd like changed. We are producing this podcast for you to keep you educated, informed, and hopefully a little entertained as well. Okay, let's shine the light on one of our drivers who has really put in the work, who has really put in the miles. As a matter of fact, he's put in over 4 million of them, which makes him a 4-time Stevens Transport Hall of Famer. This driver's been with Stevens since 1997, working hard to build a successful career on the road, and he's done just that. He's going to share his story, highlighting what keeps him motivated and the importance of having a supportive team like Stevens Transport behind him. Here is the story of 4-time Hall of Famer driver Kelvin K.J. Johnson.
Kelvin K.J. Johnson. I'm a independent contractor, truck driver with Stevens Transport. I came to Stevens Transport in 1997, when it was my hire date, and about the end of 96. Man, it's awesome. You know, it's awesome. It shows how much I've worked. It shows how much what I've accomplished here and with Stevens. Running that many miles, in a certain period of time, it makes me feel good inside. It makes me say, okay, you've achieved what you wanted to, that and more. With 4 million miles, that's a lot of truck driving miles, sitting in a seat driving, 8, 9, 10 hours a day. It's a big accomplishment. Big accomplishment. You know, of course, 1, 2, and 3 million miles, that's a lot of miles, you know. But the biggest is 4 million miles, and the biggest of all of it, it's all solo miles. That's a big deal for me. Being out, being able to see the road, you know, seeing the country. You know, at the time when I started, I could see, you know, California, the beautiful hills of California, and going up into Washington States, in the hills of Washington States, and then going back east and seeing all the greenery out east, and of course New York City, because I've always wanted to go to New York City, and that's something I want to do. I can travel and get paid to do it. Just the you know, being by yourself, you know, being a loner. What should I say, a loner? And that's not being in a bad way. It's just learning. You out here by yourself. You ain't got nobody over your back. You know, say, hey, I need you to do this, or I need you. We communicate by a computer, and it's just like you're your own self. Health is one of my biggest things. Keeping your health in order, keeping yourself in order, being physically, emotionally in order also. Those are the biggest things that I've learned. You can walk, you can exercise, you can do whatever you want. If it's just getting out the truck, stretching, that's something that you're doing. Everything is not peaches and cream. Trust me, I've had ups and downs, but you have to get in a mindset that, hey, I got something I need to accomplish. I can do this. Nobody's gonna give you anything. You got to get out there to go get it. It's not about a truck number. They know you by name. I've been here so long, everybody knows me by name, you know. And that's what I like about it. It's open door policy. I don't have to go talk to such. I can go straight to Angie if I need to, which I try to go up the chain. But at sometimes, you know, you may want to just, you know, talk, hey, I want to talk to Angie without an issue. I mean, it's so much, man. I can't really just say it because it's so much. I mean, the stuff that you know, they treat you right. They treat you as somebody in their family, should I say, as if I'm in their family. That's what I like about it. I want to tell them thank you. Thank you for the 28 years, working on 29 years that they've allowed me to be here. And I look forward to many, many more years. You know, if the health and strength of me is good, I intend to be here. All right.
Thank you, KJ, for sharing your story. That is audio you can find from a video on our Stevens Transport YouTube channel. We'll have a link to that video in the episode notes. We'll also have a link to this video. Here is more audio from another video you can find on that YouTube channel. Let's get up to date on everything taking place in August with our Stevens Monthly News Bulletin.
Welcome to Stevens Transport News Bulletin. We bring you the latest updates in the transportation industry. Stevens Transport is set to roll out a special celebration in honor of our dedicated drivers during National Truck Driver Appreciation Week, taking place from September 14th to the 20th. Throughout this week, Stevens Transport will be spotlighting our exceptional drivers at our Dallas, Texas headquarters. The company is excited to host hundreds of drivers and will be giving away thousands of dollars in prizes to recognize their hard work and commitment. The festivities will include a special edition of the Stevens Transport Roadside radio podcast, where drivers will have the opportunity to share their remarkable stories with Trucker Tim. Additionally, our drivers can look forward to a week of fun games, activities, catered lunches, raffle prizes, and more. A highlight of the week will be the annual Stevens Transport Chili Cook-Off, where each department competes for the titles of Best Overall Chili and Best Team Name. Drivers will serve as the cook of judges, while the teams are hoping for a year's worth of bragging rights. Stevens Transport is proud to recognize and celebrate the incredible drivers who play a crucial role in keeping our nation moving. In other news, we are pleased to announce the promotion of Melissa Larson to Senior Director of Driver Recruiting at Stevens Transport. Melissa brings a wealth of experience in management and recruiting within the transportation industry. Her deep industry knowledge, leadership skills, and commitment to excellence make her a valuable asset to our organization. She is excited to take on this new role, collaborate with our talented team, and continue driving success in our recruiting efforts. Melissa's enthusiasm and energy are truly inspiring, and we look forward to her continued contributions. Please join us in congratulating Melissa on this well-deserved promotion. Stay informed and inspired by the stories that shape our industry. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Stevens Transport News Bulletin. Have a great day.
All right, one last piece of business before we pump the brakes on episode 153. Let's tip that big 10-gallon Stevens cap in appreciation for a job well done. Please join us in congratulating Kevin Collins on 2 major milestones. It's double the celebration. First, his lease completion with Stevens Transport as a contractor driver, and he celebrated 10 years with Stevens Transport. Kevin's decade of dedication and drive truly represents the spirit of independence and professionalism that defines our contractor division. From the very beginning, Kevin has stayed focused, he's worked hard, and built a business that he can be very proud of. So thank you, Kevin, for your commitment, your leadership, and more importantly, the example you set for others. So here's to your continued success on the road ahead. We tip that big Stevens 10-gallon cap in appreciation for a job well done to Kevin Collins. Okay, let's pump the brakes on episode 153 of the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast. If you found this podcast because you're searching for a brand new career, please make sure you visit the episode notes. We will have phone numbers and every link possible for you to learn more about Stevens Transport and even schedule a call with one of our recruiters. All the information is in the episode notes. And like we said earlier, please follow or subscribe to this podcast from whichever platform you're enjoying it from and share it with one of your fellow drivers. We sure would appreciate it. And finally, my name is Tim Cicciarelli, otherwise known as Trucker Tim. Thanks for joining me. And until next time, be safe out there. And thanks for listening to the Stevens Transport Roadside Radio Podcast.